Hi, I am Frank.
I'm Diana. We are from Costa Rica.
And we are serving the church in Bangladesh. And please join us in the program of today while we explore the world in Mission 360.
Let's go! Hi, welcome to Mission 360. We are here in Chiang Mai, Thailand.
We are here for receiving the training for cross-cultural program, the General Conference. And we are very excited to be here. We are receiving very good training for help the people in Bangladesh. You know, we just get married like less than 10 days ago, and this is part of our honeymoon.
Now, I want to invite you to go with me to Silver Spring, Maryland.
Yeah, how are you? My name is David, and we're in the local church community, and we're passing something out for you. It's a small gift for you to read. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's important that everybody be involved in total member involvement, helping others to see Jesus in practical ways. Health outreach, literature outreach, door-to-door activity, media outreach, music activities. We're hoping that all over this world, more people, more members will understand that this is a joint partnership. Everybody ought to be involved in getting out and making contacts with people.
Everybody please head out those doors as fast as you can, grab a partner, and grab a colored piece of paper and follow it to your exit. We'll see you out in the streets.
We just want to welcome you guys to bus number 3. My name is Ranella, and I will be serving you today. Don't you feel like you're on Ranella Airlines or something? While Kyle is passing these out, you guys can grab the little canvas that should be in there. It's a little colored piece of paper. You can get this out and start looking at it and going over your canvas, what you're gonna say at the doors. Yeah, they can reflect it. Oh, thank you.
Today we had a fabulous time with so many people from all over the world, representatives from every single division, coming together under the leadership of young people, all to help people understand total member involvement. Every one of us going out, being able to share Christ through literature and a prayer.
I'm so pleased to participate in the project because I expected to see more people closed, and we found a lot of people open, ready to receive a word of prayer, a pamphlet. They're more open than I imagined.
My name is Aiden Wu, and I am currently a social student, and I had the opportunity to go out today with the Northern Asia Pacific Union Secretary out door-to-door knocking. And at our very last door, at the end of just around 10 minutes or so, we saw a man with his car pulling up into the garage. And this man came out, and we started to explain that, oh, we are friends from the Adventist church. And we gave him some literature, some glow tracts. And the sound of that, he told us that, oh, interesting, I've recently been looking into the Seventh-day Adventist church. And he's been wondering, he said, why are not Christians keeping the 7-day Sabbath? And I was like, well, here we are, here for you. And so we handed him a book, and I told him this explains how Sabbath is part of God's love. And he said, I will definitely read this book.
Literature is one of the easiest ways to do it. Going door to door, talking to people on the streets, sharing with them some Christian literature, and then asking them, is there something I can pray for?
You will be with her niece and her loved ones that are sowing with health. And my Father, please bless her and bless her family as well. And we ask this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All can participate in total member involvement. That's what it's all about. Everyone doing something for Jesus. I invite you to be part of this great effort all over the world, using the talents God has given to you to be part of this mighty movement. For soon Jesus will come.
Hello, we are here at the Mission Institute in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And today we are with Enid Harris, one of the workers of the Mission Institute in General Conference. Enid, we have some questions for you. We'd like to know, what is Mission Institute?
Okay, very good. I'm happy to tell you. Mission Institute is a 3-week-long cross-cultural training for General Conference missionaries who go abroad to serve in the 13 divisions of the World Church. And of course, it's also, we're open to having, we welcome others too who would like to come and learn about cross-cultural ministry and missions. That's what Mission Institute is about. However, it doesn't exclude children. We welcome the families who come. And I teach the children, in the 8 to 12-year-olds in Mission Institute, and I coordinate the program for the younger ones as well.
Well, what topics do you teach?
Oh, yes, we have several. We have 16 days of cross-cultural learning, and the kids learn, first of all, that they're a missionary kid, and they are, first of all, a child of God. And then they also learn about transition, moving from one country to the other, and what happens in between when they go through all of the grieving, the part of saying goodbye, having to move on to another culture. And over here on the wall we have what we call a transition bridge that they have made, and they know that the hands represent God's hands, and the bridge represents a swing bridge, which you know, they experience walking across or moving from one culture to the other. And we also teach them that even though they settle on the far side of the sea, as they learn in the Psalms, that God is there to hold them with his right hand. And then the other topics we teach is how to fit into a culture. And they also learn that they are third culture kids. And this doesn't mean that they've lived in three countries. It means that they have grown up in a culture other than their own and have embraced the culture that they are in, the host culture, and they develop a mixture of the host culture and their own culture within themselves. And I have here 2 pieces of Play-Doh, which we use to illustrate this. One is blue and one is yellow. Yeah. And when we mix the two, I tell them to mix the two, and it becomes green. And this is how they become inside. You know, they just blend with the, and become, we call them third culture kids, because they have embraced a little bit of the host culture and a little bit of their own, and they formed a culture of their own. And then we also teach them about values and learning to cooperate with their families in the mission field, and learning to say a proper goodbye. Mm-hmm. Did you know there's such a thing as learning to say a proper goodbye? And so there are several topics that we are.
It is interesting. Mm-hmm. So Enid, who is Mission Institute for?
It's for the whole family. When God calls mom or dad, he calls the whole family. And so the children, from baby on up to teenagers, we have programs for all of them, so that they can learn how to be a part of the whole family that God calls to the mission field. Hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. How does it help across cultural workers?
They learn to, deal with issues that they face, the experiences they face. In the work that they do, in their interaction with the other culture, and I believe that this Mission Institute training is a very unique experience, and they can carry it wherever they go. It doesn't matter which culture they go to, that they can they'll be equipped to be able to work in those cultures.
Enid, what experiences can you share of how participants have been blessed?
Well, I think we have to ask that question of the participants themselves, but we have received numerous feedback from our missionaries saying that this has been the best experience that they have had, not just by coming together the 3 weeks, but they have been given tools to be able to, that they can use and in service across cultures.
Well, thank you very much, Enid, for your time. You know, we have been blessed for your presence and the experience that we have been having here in this place. And well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're very welcome, and we're just excited that you can both be here to participate in this training.
Well, and thank you, and remember, Mission 360 will continue after this break.
Welcome back to Chennai, Thailand. I hope you're enjoying the program.
Next, let's go and visit Auckland, New Zealand. We'll meet Zoe. She recently was released from jail, and she fell in love with God and the Bible.
Amanda, we're here at this program called Solutions, and you have got an amazing story of how God has been working in your life. So Amanda, what's your story?
Well, I came to Solutions, which is part of Grace Foundation, in May last year. I was arrested last February, me and my partner both were, and went to prison, and I heard about Grace Foundation while I was in prison. So I applied, they came out and saw me, and I got released to them.
Wow. And so this right now, would you a year ago have considered kind of this Bible-based, program?
No. A year ago, if you had told me that I would be here, I wouldn't have believed you. But I also wouldn't have believed that I could be as happy as I am now. The way that Grace Foundation has changed my whole life is mainly to do with my own thinking, my outlook on life. I've gone from that criminal-minded world into a God-minded world, and just the whole Solutions program, they actually do give you real solutions. It's all about learning the Bible, well, not just learning the Bible, but learning the stories and the teachings in it. The teachings, those practices can be put into practice today. Right. They're still relevant, and it's just the way that you look at things and that you look at the world.
Right. Well, Amanda, thanks for sharing, because I know that many people all around the world and in their cities also kind of look at different populations of the group to say, hey, those guys are unreachable. And so here you are, you're a living witness on how God's grace can transform lives. And so right now, can you tell us, what are the elements of the Solutions, program?
Well, every day we start off with our devotions, which is when we all get together, have a prayer. We'll go through a story from the Bible and we'll learn different elements from it. Then we'll break, then we'll get together and split into women's and men's groups, and that's when we delve deeper into the Bible and the meanings and the lessons in it.
Right, and applying it to your life.
Yeah, and how to apply it into our life.
Right, wow. And this is something right now that, how would you share, a story of how you've seen God actually transform your thinking or transform kind of, on that journey of faith?
It's completely transformed. Like, I was such a negative person before and I didn't realize it. I would have classed myself as one of those unreachable people. Like, a year ago, I wouldn't have even considered basically a religious rehab, but it's been the only thing that's worked for me, and I've tried so many different rehabs and programs, some of the most intensive in New Zealand, and none of it's worked until I found Grace Foundation. Grace Foundation has been about installing those values, making you feel valued, giving you a purpose and giving you direction, and I just haven't had that before.
Wow. And so this is something right now, as you've seen that, how have you seen some of the interactions with some of your other people, and friends who are also in the program? Have they had a story similar to yours?
Yes, there's heaps of stories similar to mine. when I got out in May last year, my partner was still inside. He ended up getting out in October and coming to Grace Foundation because he saw the difference in me through my letters. When I first told him that I was coming out to Grace Foundation, he thought I was insane. But then as the months went on and he saw me change in my letters to him, he decided that he wanted to come out, and now he's at Grace Foundation as well, and he hosts cell group at his house every week. We both attend church, we're looking at marriage. Like, it's completely transformed our lives.
Wow, so you actually saw that you know, even in your own personal relationship.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Now, how else, right now, I know that Grace Foundation is linked to a church.
Calvary.
Yeah, Calvary Church, and that's one of the Seventh-day Adventist churches here in Auckland, New Zealand. And so that's so thrilling to see actually how this church is actually, and we're working with its partners like Grace Foundation to actually meet needs in the community and then take that next step and actually making disciples. And so that's the privilege that we have today of in working in our urban environments, of actually giving those examples. And so do you want to share another story from your kind of your perspective?
Calvary Church is a church that they don't just stand there and talk. They actually take action. They do things. They help the community. Like would have been a few months back, we celebrated the passage out of the Bible, Isaiah 58, and we went and we delivered over 4,000 food packages to the most needy area in South Auckland, over in Clendon. And we went door to door handing out bread, fish, tinned goods, and it was actually getting out and actually helping people. Right. You know, you could see that you were helping people, and it just gave us a sense of purpose. Yeah. And it's not just a church of words, it's a church that actually cares and is there for one another.
That's awesome to hear. And did you actually help out in distributing? That's awesome, Amanda. And then what was the response of some of the people as
People were very like, huh, what? How much is it? And we're like, it's free, it's a donation from our church. People just couldn't believe it. Wow, wow. And so that's thrilling, Amanda, to hear how God has actually changed your heart. Because a year ago, would you have done that? No way. To actually be involved in serving your community? I wouldn't have got out of my car in South Auckland. Really? Yeah, but it's changed my mind. It's given me a new way of looking at people and seeing the good in people instead of just seeing, you know. Well, it sounds like Christ has, in that grace transformation in your own heart, He's actually changed your eyes to see, definitely. To see that part of Auckland completely differently. Yeah. So, well, thank you, Amanda, for sharing and your story, and to giving God glory for how He's been working in your life. And so I just wanted to say thank you for joining us here, Amanda, for this episode of Mission 360, and thank you. This is Pastor Doug Van reporting here in Auckland for Mission 360.
Julius is a global mission pioneer in Kenya. In this remote part of the world, the water is very scarce, and they have been praying for over a year to get rain to celebrate one baptism.
For many of us, getting a drink of water is as simple as turning on the faucet. But here in northern Kenya, getting water is a lot more work. For most of the year, rain is nothing more than a distant memory. In the dry months, stream beds dry up and finding water becomes a challenge. Digging under the sand like this is the only way to get a simple drink around here. Julius is a global mission pioneer working in this part of Kenya. He came here to share the gospel message with this remote group. Through Christ's method, Julius has developed real relationships with the villagers, and many of them have accepted Jesus into their hearts. Sadly, these new believers don't have a church building of their own to worship in. They meet regularly inside this humble, mud-walled building. This space is a public facility owned by the area chief, and he allows them to gather here. The villagers hope to have an Adventist church building someday. They trust that God will provide for them and are grateful for the temporary space they worship in now. This has been the location of countless Bible studies, prayer meetings, and singing sessions. Julius loves discussing new topics with the villagers, and they are eager to learn more. Joseph and Penina are married, and they've been studying the Bible with Julius for quite some time now. They have committed their lives to Jesus, but haven't had the opportunity to be baptized yet. Joseph and Penina have been waiting about a year for enough rain to come to this area so they can get baptized. It is so dry that it isn't possible without a good rain. Until then, they wait patiently and continue studying and learning with Julius. Despite the challenges, God is doing amazing things in villages like this through the work of Global Mission Pioneers. Julius and other pioneers in Kenya ask for your prayers. Advancing the work can be difficult here, but God's faithful servants are eager to share His message. Please pray for pioneers around the globe and consider how you can support them. Thank you for supporting Mission.
I hope you enjoyed the program.
Today we visited United States, Kenya, New Zealand, and Thailand. There are cross-cultural workers in different countries of the world. They are working to bless the people in a practical and creative way. One of the biggest challenges that missionary has to face is loneliness. Please keep them in your prayers. And as a token of appreciation, we will give one Adventist mission pen for each one of you. Just look on the information here on your screen.
I hope you can join us next time here on Mission 360.